Fantasy football fades for Week 7. As you make those crucial start-sit decisions, here are 6 players with potential busts in Week 7. QB Jared Goff, Detroit Lions. Despite a solid start to the season, Goff faces a tough matchup against the Minnesota Vikings, who have one of the league's best pass defenses. The Vikings have allowed the second lowest EPA per dropback and lead the league in interceptions. Unless you're in a 2 QB or Superflex league, it might be wise to keep Goff on your bench this week. RB James Conner, Arizona Cardinals. Conner has been a workhorse with a high touch count, but a matchup against the Los Angeles Chargers defense poses a risk. His usage was puzzling last week, with a significant drop in snaps and touches after a fumble. Given this uncertainty and the Chargers' solid defense, consider Conner more as a flex option rather than a must-start RB. Tampa Bay Buccaneers RBs. With Rachaad White potentially returning, the Buccaneers' backfield has turned into a three-headed monster. They face the Baltimore Ravens, the top rushing defense in the league. Given the matchup and the uncertainty in snap distribution, it's best to avoid starting any Buccaneers RBs unless you're in dire straits. George Pickens, Pittsburgh Steelers. With a potential QB change looming, Pickens faces a challenging matchup against the Jets' secondary, which has performed well this season. Even if the Jets are missing some players, their pass defense remains tough. Pickens might be a boom-bust flex option this week, leaning more toward the bust side based on matchup. Brandon Aiyuk, San Francisco 49ers. Aiyuk's season has been inconsistent, and he struggles against the Chiefs, who excel at limiting wide receivers. Given the Niners' offensive scheme, Aiyuk is still a flex consideration, but expectations should be tempered, especially as Deebo Samuel could have a better matchup. Dalton Kincaid, Buffalo Bills. Kincaid's breakout has been slow, ranking as the T15 in fantasy points per game. With Amari Cooper potentially joining the mix and a tough matchup against the Titans, who allow the least fantasy points to tight ends, Kincaid's ceiling and floor may be lower than desired. He's still a startable option, but expectations should be managed.